Welcome back to the channel. Let's get right into today's problem. Today we are looking at number 3310, remove methods from project. As always, if you get stuck or have questions at any point during this explanation, just drop a comment below and I'll make sure to jump in and help you out. Here is the problem page. It can look a little overwhelming with all the rules and bold text, so let's break it down simply. Basically, we are maintaining a software project. We have a total of different methods, or functions, and we've found a bug in one of them, which the problem calls method K. This buggy method, plus any other method it calls, and any method those call, and so on, form a group. The problem calls this the suspicious group, and ideally, we want to delete all of them. But there's a big catch. We can only delete this group if absolutely no normal, safe method outside of the group relies on any method inside the group. If even one safe method calls a suspicious method, we can't delete anything, and we have to keep all the methods in the project. Our final goal is to return a list of whatever methods survive this process. Let's look at a concrete example. We have 4 methods in total, 0 through 3, and method 1 is our known buggy starting point. The problem gives us an invocations list, which tells us which method calls which. I've mapped it out here. We can see method 0 calls 1, 1 calls 2, and 3 calls 2. Since method 1 is our bug, it's suspicious. Since method 1 calls method 2 is also suspicious. That is our entire bad group. Now we check for outside callers. Look at method 0. It's a safe method, but it calls method 1, and method 3, another safe method, calls method 2. Because these normal methods rely on the suspicious ones, we are not allowed to remove the suspicious group. We have to keep everything. So we return a list containing all 4 methods. Thinking about this, the methods and their calls form what we call a directed graph in computer science. Our first step is straightforward. We start at our buggy method, and just follow the arrows to find every other method in the suspicious group using a standard search. Once we know who is suspicious, we need to check if any safe method points into our bad group. If we find one, we cancel the deletion. A really clever way to do this, as shown in the editorial, is to keep track of the in degree of every single method. That just means counting exactly how many arrows point to it. When we are searching through our suspicious group, every time we follow an arrow from one bad method to another, we subtract 1 from the target's incoming count. After checking the whole bad group, if any suspicious method still has an incoming count greater than 0, it means an arrow must have come from outside the group. It's a brilliant little trick to avoid checking everything twice. Let's walk through the Python implementation. First, we set up an adjacency list called edges to represent our graph, and an array to hold those incoming arrow counts for every method. We loop through the list of calls they gave us, building our graph connections, and adding 1 to the target method's incoming count each time an arrow points to it. Next, we set up a queue to do a breadth-first search, starting right at our known bug, method K. We also create a list to flag methods as suspicious, marking our start as a 1. While we search, we grab the next method. For every method it calls, we crucially subtract 1 from that target's incoming count, just like we talked about earlier. Still inside that loop, if the method we are looking at hasn't been marked suspicious yet, we flag it as bad and add it to our queue to keep exploring its branches. After the search finishes, we just loop through all our methods. If we find a method that is flagged as suspicious, but its incoming count is still greater than 0, we hit our trap and set our removal flag to false. Finally, if our removal flag stayed true, it's safe to delete. We return a list of only the methods that are not suspicious. Otherwise, we return the full list of all methods. Here is the full code all put together. Let's quickly talk about how this handles edge cases. What if the buggy method is completely disconnected and calls nothing? The search just starts and stops at K. Its incoming count will be 0 unless something else calls it, which our final loop handles perfectly. It either gets removed alone or kept if someone else needs it. What if every single method in the project gets flagged as suspicious? Our code handles this gracefully too. All internal arrows get their counts reduced to 0, the final check passes, and it correctly returns an empty list. For time complexity, we have order of n plus m. En is the total number of methods, and m is the number of connections between them. We build the graph once, and traverse the edges at most once. The space complexity is also order of n plus m, since we have to store the graph structures and our incoming count arrays in memory to process them. So what can we learn from this problem? The main lesson here is a clean way to check if a specific section of a graph is isolated from the rest of the network. Modifying the in-degree counts dynamically as we traverse the component is a fantastic pattern to remember. It saves time and avoids having to do a messy, slow double check later on. We will look at the other languages in just a second. I wanted to quickly mention I'm trying out this new, fast-paced slide format for these videos. Let me know in the comments if you prefer this style, or if you liked the older, slower layout. You might also notice this is an AI voice. I actually built an AI tool to instantly generate these visual guides the second a problem drops so I can study faster, and I post them here without ads or sponsorships to help you do the same. Alright, as promised, let's look at the solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. If you don't want to pause and type these out, you can just go to leetcodeunlock.com via the link in the description to copy and paste the code directly. Here is the complete implementation in Java. Next up, here is the C++ version. And finally, the JavaScript solution. Before you go, check out my other channel, Leetcode Unlocked. My goal is to eventually upload a visual solution for literally every single problem on the platform, so if you are studying past just the daily challenges, definitely check it out. If you want to help support that massive goal, consider donating a boba using the link on screen. Otherwise, a simple like and subscribe goes a really long way. Keep coding, and I'll catch you tomorrow.